The views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of this station, JVC Broadcasting Management, or its sponsors.
Discussions in this show should not be construed as specific recommendation or investment or tax advice. Always consult with your investment and tax professional before making important decisions. Securities offered through registered representatives of Cambridge Investment Research, Inc., a broker-dealer member, FINRA SIPC. Advisory services through Cambridge Investment Research Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor. Cambridge and Punturo Financial Services, Inc., and Bernstein and Punturo LLP are not affiliated.
Hi, this is CPA and Certified Financial Planner Rick Punturo. For over 20 years, I've guided and built a roadway for my clients to reach their financial goals. Whether long or short term, wealth building or legacy planning, my clients have learned to better understand their tolerance for risk and how to achieve financial independence. Please contact me by visiting PunturoFinancial.com. That's PunturoFinancial.com, or call 631-694-5645. As a CPA and financial planner, I am able to offer what other financial advisors cannot: tax advice and how your investments may affect your tax liabilities. Please contact me today by visiting PunturoFinancial.com. That's PunturoFinancial.com, or call 631-694-5645. That's 631-694-5645. Together, let's get your investments in shape to achieve financial fitness. Hi, this is CPA and Certified Financial Planner Rick Punturo of Punturo Financial Services and Bernstein Punturo. I can be reached by telephone at 631-694-5645 or visit my website at PunturoFinancial.com. We are conveniently located at 445 Broad Hollow Road, Melville, New York. I am your host of the Punturo Financial Fitness Show. Be sure to listen in every Thursday at 4:30 p.m. right here at 103.9 LI News Radio. So, folks, last week's show was entitled 11 Financial Goals to Attain Financial Fitness in 2022. During that show, I stated that regardless of your income, you will need adequate life and disability insurance to support your family. I also stated that inadequate insurances can have a catastrophic impact in an otherwise sound financial plan. It can blow it up. It can blow it up, right, Neil?
Absolutely.
So without a doubt, one of the key building blocks of financial fitness is having the proper insurances to guard against unforeseen bumps in the road. Today, my guest is insurance professional expert Neil Himmelstein, president and founder of the Long Island-based firm Main Street Financial Planning Group. His expertise is in advanced case design and underwriting, specializing in high net worth planning and concepts for individuals and businesses. So Neil's an advocate for long-term care planning and utilizes stand-alone and hybrid insurance solutions, as well as legal and financial concepts to protect client needs. Neil is also the host of his own show, his very own show, entitled The Main Street Code for Financial Success, which you can tune in on every Friday at 3 p.m., of course, right here at 103.9 LI News Radio. Neil is a good friend who I can trust, rely on him for his expertise in the most complex insurance matters. And he can be reached by telephone at 631-647-4694. Neil, did I get it right?
Wow, that's a lot of stuff that you did fantastic. Thank you, Rick.
Or visit his website at Main Street Financial Planning Group. So Neil, I did some talking, introductions.
How are you, Rick?
Very well. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. You know, I'm so happy you have a show now, Financial Fitness. You embody financial fitness. So the name is so apropos. If you ever meet Rick, not only is he a good-looking guy, but I mean, he's a very intellectual guy. He keeps himself, his body and mind in shape. He not only is an expert in financial planning, in money matters, in moving your money, but he has a CPA, and there's very few people in this industry that keep up with both disciplines, both the money management side and the CPA side, to keep you informed. And the key is, like all the advisors I work with around the country, he's an expert in his areas. He works for you. And everything that you do works for you. And any type of planning you're doing, and you should be planning on a regular basis, whether it's your investments, whether it's your job, whether it's insurance, you need to not only have a plan, but you need to update your plan all the time, because the world is changing so quickly. Tax laws are changing every day. Insurance companies are changing every day. And you know what? We don't live in a straight line. We do have bumps in the road. And I'm glad you brought that up, because COVID has taught us a lot of things. And one of the things is it taught us that the world's changed. And the world's changed, and we have to react. But we have to be prepared. I don't know if you're one of those unfortunate people who had to stop working for 3 months during COVID. It wasn't your fault. You didn't get sick. You didn't get hurt. But you couldn't work. And did you have a rainy day fund to take care of that? You still had to pay your mortgage. You still have to pay your bills. Life still goes on. Are you prepared for that? And that's where insurance comes in. But truly, that's where you come in as well. And the biggest thing I tell people is, don't be afraid to ask for advice. Don't go on the internet and get all your advice. Ask people you know and trust. So with that, Rick, that's my word for the day. And Rick is one of those guys you can know and trust, and it's going to put you in good steads with your financial planning.
So, Neil, thanks for the kind comments. I've been privileged to work with you over the years, and I know you always have my best interest in mind, our client's best interest, I should say, and our interest of taking care of our clients, being their advocate. That boutique feel. We're not a .com, right? We're a boutique, right? Our firms are boutique. We complement each other, our firms, in giving the client the most straight and forward advice, as well as analyzing complex situations, complex financial information. That's your expertise. But you can still handle simple matters, right?
Absolutely. Well, you know what the key is? The key is both of us have such tremendous experience. And it's very hard for somebody to see the future, see their own future. But we've seen the good, we've seen the bad, and so with that experience comes the knowledge of where things could go wrong and where things can go out of haywire. And that's why you need professionals and not be, seeking out of the moon. And you need to put together your own financial team. So you need somebody who can do your taxes, but you want a CPA who knows the law change, or there's something you didn't know about. You need somebody who really knows insurance, who knows the pitfalls of buying the right coverage. You want to make sure that whatever coverage you buy, whether it's life insurance, whether it's property and casualty, the biggest thing is with insurance is you want to make sure the claim gets paid. That's like the biggest thing. I don't care how much it costs. If the claim doesn't get paid, it might as well cost you, nothing. If you want something for nothing, you're going to get nothing. So you get what you pay for. And good, solid financial advice is hard to come by, but it's not hard to come by if you give Rick a call, give us a call, because Rick is going to put you on a path and hopefully keep you on that path for success.
Perfect. You were talking about a scenario where folks lost their job for 3 months. That dovetails into an emergency fund. We talked to that last show that we did, talking about the 11 goals for financial fitness in 2022, building an emergency fund.
Right.
Can you talk through big picture long-term disability and how that would have an impact if its duration is longer, if somebody was disabled, for example?
Oh, absolutely. So long-term disability is very important. People don't realize, but and actually my daughter is on long-term disability now. She had a back issue where she had a back operation, and then years later she got hit in a car on Sunrise Highway, actually, injuring her neck and back, and it's finally led to an operation. where she couldn't work for 6 months. If she didn't have disability, she would be living home, and I'd be paying her way right now. But because she was prepared, what disability insurance does, it protects your income. Nothing else protects your income. And like I always say, if you had a money machine in the basement, people say, oh, I don't want to buy it, I don't want to pay for it. But if you had a money machine in your basement, you put oil in it, right? You want to make sure that's working correctly. I know if you did, it would be illegal, but that's what you are when you're working and supporting a family. You are that money machine. So disability insurance is one of the most important things that you should cover in case you become disabled, where you can't perform your activities of your job.
And so like anything else, right, you have to update that. Sometimes we have folks that you visit with, and what happens? They had the same insurance, disability insurance, when they made $50,000. Now they make $500,000. So folks, we always talk about not just setting it and forgetting it, but we have to stay up top of changes to tax law changes, our income, life changes, everything counts. So continue to stay on top of your plan with your trusted advisors, your trusted team. This is, again, Rick Punturo. We are going to take a short break for commercials, so be sure to stay with us and come back and learn. If you were listening to us before the commercial break or just joining us, welcome to the Punturo Financial Fitness Show. Be sure to listen in every Thursday at 4:30 p.m. right here at 103.9 LI News Radio. I'm your host, Rick Punturo, CPA and Certified Financial Planner of Punturo Financial Services and Bernstein & Punturo. I am joined today by my guest, insurance professional expert Neil Himmelstein, president and founder of Main Street Planning Group. We are speaking about one of the more important building blocks of financial fitness, insurance. At the break, we left off talking about disability insurance. Neil brought up some valid points about how it protects your income. It's one of those tools that if you were to get sick, it could blow up a plan, right? If you're sick for 2 years and you don't have an emergency fund for 2 years, most folks don't, especially young folks and many older folks too as well, it could blow up a plan. So I'd like to talk about components of life insurance, segue into life insurance and how that plays a role, specifically the different types of life insurance. And then maybe you can talk about hybrid insurance as well as a wonderful tool to address both categories, both life insurance and some long-term care needs for folks that otherwise don't want to just pay for a premium without them using it. So Life insurance, we know we're going to die, right? If we have permanent insurance.
Yeah, it's funny when we're 20, the world looks different than when we're 30, and it looks different. You know how the world looks different? And when I was 20, man, I'd jump off a building and, okay, no big deal. Now I'm like, no, I'm going to get hurt.
Yeah, tackle football doesn't work for me anymore. A
lot of people think that nothing's ever going to happen to them, and because we've been around the block, and, for you parents out there, you've been around, things happen. And we can't avoid things happen, and you have to come to the realization that things could happen, especially if you're starting a young family.
Excuse me, Neil, is that a four-letter word that begins with S? Blank happens?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Blank.
You can't say it on the radio, right?
No, I don't think so.
All right.
Yes, it happens. I heard that in Forrest Gump, too.
That's right.
They said that. That's right. But it happens, and we can't control it. But what we can control is preparing for something to happen by insuring it. So, my kids were young. I wanted to make sure they went to college. I wanted to buy some life insurance just in case they didn't make it. How are they going to afford 20, 30, 40, now $50,000 a year for 4 years for college? So life insurance is very important. People say, well, it's expensive. Well, you hear on the radio and everything, cheap term insurance. Term insurance is very good. What it does is it buys you that 20 years or 30 years that I might need coverage so that when my kids get to college, I know that if anything happens to me, I'm in an accident, whatever, and something happens to me and I pass away, I would get life insurance. Now, many people talk about buying term and investing the difference. There's a problem with that. And yes, it's great. It involves discipline. And you know what, Rick, as a money manager, you understand that the best way to buy anything is over time, but is to buy it consistently. You don't buy on dips and pros and, everybody's a day trader. No, you buy every week. You buy every month. So if you're disciplined and you can buy term and invest the difference, fantastic. Okay? I'm going to tell you 90% of the people in the world are not disciplined. They get their bills, they pay them, they go out and party, and then they work the next month, and they may buy some term insurance. That's great, but they don't invest the difference. So there are many advantages of buying what they call a permanent life insurance plan, like a universal or a whole life plan. All kinds of variations on where that money gets invested in addition to the insurance. And what it does two things. One, if you pay for it monthly or whatever, you have it coming out of your check, you don't think about it. You might think about it the first month, but afterwards you don't think about it. And you start saving money. And you have the insurance. So now the money is being used in two different ways. The great thing is about a cash value life insurance plan that Susie Orman won't tell you is it's never taxed. The money growing in there is never taxed. You can overfund it. You can put more money in. It's flexible. You can really do some great things with some cash value life insurance. It's not your whole plan.
I do like tax-free, Neil. I love Roths.
Right.
And in certain cases, whole life insurance really plays a role.
So it's a great, I'm not saying nothing is a cornucopia, but as far as diversifying, not only, Rick always talks to me about diversifying your assets, diversifying your taxes. He loves Roth IRAs. He loves this IRA thing that I don't think he could do anymore. This extra.
Still can at the moment until it's subject to change.
So, but anyhow, Roth IRA was a great thing. Roth IRA really is the same as buying life insurance, except you don't have life insurance on it. So it's purely an investment in a sense that you could take it out tax-free, but there's still restrictions on Roth IRA that you don't have with life insurance. You have to wait till you're 59 and a half to take it out tax-free.
So you're comparing life insurance to my favorite Roth. In some cases, yes, Roth gives you the ability to invest in different vehicles. So there's life insurance is, and again, I want to talk about the life insurance that I think people often misconstrue. Now, that pool of money in permanent life insurance can be used for long-term care, even if it's not a hybrid policy.
Correct.
So please speak to the hybrid concept.
It could be used for college education. Okay, it could be, instead of a 529 plan, you could take your money out tax-free. And the beautiful part about life insurance, opposed, let's say, to even a 529, if you're familiar with it for college savings, is you're in control of that money. It's not reported on the FOSA form. If you're sued, they can't touch that money. It's very well insulated. So I'm not a lawyer. I'm not going to tell you it's 150%, but it's pretty much darn near 100% insulated. So even if you're a private business person or an individual, it's a great way of protecting your money. I don't want to use the word shield. It's protection.
Sure. And can you speak to
now,
hybrid?
Yeah.
I love hybrid life.
So long-term care, I'm a big advocate of. I talk about it all the time on my show. I'm on a national board of long-term care. Actually, we're on a board advising the government on how we can do a public-private partnership. Because the government knows it's a big issue. It's a big issue. What long-term care is if I need some sort of custodial care, my health insurance doesn't cover it. And what happens is people end up going broke, whether it's in their home or assisted living or a nursing home, or they have Alzheimer's or their family member does, and they end up going broke. And when they go broke, they have to rely on the government or Medicaid. And Medicaid is insurance for the impoverished. So the government, both the state and federal, it's a lot of money out of their pocket. So what life insurance carriers have done, there are standalone long-term care policies, but now you can buy that privilege inside an insurance policy to where it'll pay a long-term care benefit if you should need it, or if you pass away, it has the availability of life insurance. So it's really using your money in multiple fashions to achieve multiple goals, and permanent products can do that for you. So it's ultimately, I used to sell stereos. Great to have a stereo. But one component breaks down, the others may break down.
Wait, excuse me, Neil. Was that Radio Shack?
No, that was Costco.
Costco. Oh, okay.
It was Memco, it was called.
Okay.
It was a government. Yeah, it was a department store.
Yeah,
but I'm saying you can buy the separate components. Ultimately, that's the best. But if you have a budget and everything in mind, sometimes a combination plan is more beneficial. But it all comes into play. Everything comes in together when you work with a team of people who are advising you all in the same direction. This is why you need a CPA and a money manager and an insurance expert, because they all need to work together for you, that your plan works and everybody works together.
And it's best to work with your insurance expert and the CPA and CFP, Certified Financial Planner.
Absolutely. All together.
Perfect. So thank you, Neil Himmelstein, for shedding some light on a very crucial component of financial fitness, insurance. Again, this is CPA and Certified Financial Planner Rick Punturo, and thank you for listening to the Punturo Financial Fitness Show. And be sure to listen in every Thursday at 4:30 p.m. right here at 103.9 LI News Radio. I can be reached at 631-694-5645. Visit my website at punturofinancial.com. And don't forget to visit your insurance expert, Neil Himmelstein.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Discussions in this show should not be construed as specific recommendation or investment or tax advice. Always consult with your investment and tax professional before making important decisions. Securities offered through registered representatives of Cambridge Investment Research, Inc., a broker-dealer member, FINRA SIPC. Advisory services through Cambridge Investment Research Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor. Cambridge and Punturo Financial Services, Inc., and Bernstein and Punturo, LLP, are not affiliated.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of this station, JVC Broadcasting Management, or its sponsors.